And Mike Bordick. And Mike, it's one thing to say, you don't match up well against a certain team. That team has your number. But this is something completely different with Tillman against the Blue Jays. He really is non-competitive against that lineup.
Well, it seems like maybe a mental block this year. Yeah, they have put up some godly numbers against him, and Chris Tillman hasn't been able to make an adjustment to somehow try to solve this Blue Jays riddle. Yeah, 1 through 9, they've given him trouble. Top of the order came through for this Blue Jays team today, and he just couldn't find a way, couldn't ever really get into a rhythm, establish one pitch or two pitches to open up some holes. They were tough today on Chris Tillman, and I think it's just a confident team against Tillman. They feel like they can do whatever they want. They're going to take healthy cuts, wait out for the pitch that they're looking for, and they didn't miss it once again today.
You were talking about that offense today, and I'm looking at the middle of the order while you're talking right there, and I just can't believe that all of them, Donaldson, Bautista, Encarnacion, got so many really good pitches to hit. And I just, Tillman, again, it just seemed to be able to miss the target today and put it right in a zone where they can, and really no retaliation, no fire on the part of that defense today, actually, Tillman, the pitching staff, to get any of these guys out.
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate. They really contained this team for the first couple games, especially 1 through 5, and we talked about how well they had done. Well, the Blue Jays offense made the adjustments today, and I think part of that had to do with the fact that they've handled Tillman so well this season, and the fact that they just felt like they couldn't make an out today, and they squared a lot of things up. They put a lot of pressure on the Orioles early on, and the Orioles kept trying to fight back. They were getting there in the middle of the ball game. There was a pivotal moment when the Orioles scored that third run to get within 3. They needed a stop, a shutdown inning when they started going to the Orioles bullpen, and even the bullpen had problems today holding down this Blue Jays offense.
Mike, when you look at these two teams last September to this September, this Blue Jays team we're watching here reminds me tremendously a lot like the Orioles last year. Whatever the Orioles seemed to need, they got, and they end up winning 96 games in the division. And it looks like Toronto's following that same path. They need a big out, they get a big out. They need a big hit, they get a big hit. They need a home run, they get a 2-run shot and get the win. It seems to be they're coming together at exactly the right time, just as the Orioles did last year.
Yeah, heading into the trade deadline, they found out exactly the pieces they needed. They needed to shore up their defense. They wanted to stabilize both the rotation and the bullpen, and they brought those pieces in, and they gelled instantaneously, really lifted everybody's spirits in the lineup. Defensively, they're playing as well as anybody, and they're helping out the pitching staff. Both the starters and relievers are benefiting from Troy Tulowitzki as shortstop and Revere out in left field. And, when you get a confident team, much like the Orioles were the second half of last season, sometimes they're unstoppable. Right now, the Blue Jays on a tremendous roll. Been nice if the Orioles could have taken 2 out of 3 here in the home park and tried to take the wind out of their sails a little bit and try to get some momentum back on the Orioles side, as now they head down to take on the Yankees, and then, of course, Kansas City only a few days later.
All right, Mike, have a safe trip to New York, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, guys, thanks.